Well, I have a very long lag between me and the monitor I'm watching up here. And I don't know if that's something I've got set up wrong in the settings or not. So, um, somebody let me know if you can hear me all right. It looks like I am on about a 5 to 10 second delay for some reason. Okay, awesome. Everybody can hear me. All right, so I'm not going to worry too much about how late the lag is up here. I may turn that off because it's going to be very, very disorienting for me, I do believe. I have my setup here through OBS, and you'll see that I think you'll see, at least on my end, the video is flickering. I'm waiting to see if I see it flicker up here on the monitor. I don't really know. I think it may be just something inside OBS because it looks like it's still working okay within YouTube. Okay. We are we are in the middle of a tornado watch in Hamilton County. And so I've got my daughter set up to alert me if anything changes weather-wise, and I need to get off of here. So we'll kind of go from there. It's been too long since we've done a live stream. It's been way, way, way too long. So welcome back. I have my laptop here in front of me, and I'm going to try to keep a look at the chat as we go along. And I'll ask for some questions later, but right now I just kind of wanted to start with just a brief recap of sort of where we're at with the channel and what may be happening here pretty soon. Now, it looks like that flicker is just on my computer screen, so that makes me feel a whole lot better. We have been over 46,000 subscribers twice now. We're not there. Oh, I just saw it flicker. We're not there right now. We've lost some subscribers. We went through a patch. March was kind of a rough month viewer wise. When I started this series on ways I'm saving money, there's evidently a lot of people not really interested in that. Not only did it not get, those videos didn't get a lot of views, but I was bleeding subscribers. In the course of 2 or 3 weeks, I lost about 800 subscribers. Sometimes that's due to people leaving, and sometimes it's due to YouTube actually cleaning out, spam accounts and those kinds of things. So we clawed our way back. And we were at 46,030 some odd now. And then we started dropping subscribers again. And we're down below 46,000 again. Not too worried about that. 46,000 subscribers is a lot of subscribers. Anyway, we've kind of turned a corner in March. Yeah, it's flickering really bad up there now. I see that. That's awful. I'm really sorry. It will look like that when it's on the recording after it's been uploaded as well. And I'm sure it is something here in the connection that I have to get hooked up to my laptop. So I'm going to have to work on, I think I've got too many connections to get everything set up. So anyway, I'll work on that for the next one. We'll see where we go. I may just go back to using my phone and just do it live from the phone. So anyway, we're kind of through that, and we're moving on to other things. And one of the things that one of the things that reminded me of as I watched those views dip and as I watched subscribers kind of go down and up and down and up, I don't really have a niche on this channel. I don't want a niche on this channel. I don't want this to be a minimalism channel. I don't want it to be a decluttering channel. I don't want it to be just me doing talking head videos channel, although I do too much of that right at the moment. I still want to go out and do videos around the Chattanooga area. I'm hoping to go up to Rock City here soon. Probably wait till this tornado passes through. And so, it's just going to be that way. Now, I will say that in March, we did the video of decluttering my mom's kitchen. No, the bathroom. We did the decluttering, no, the laundry room. Sorry, we decluttered the laundry room. That video got like it's almost at 40,000 views. Those kinds of things always bring about a lot of views on this channel. And today's video on the things that I would tell my 20-year-old self seems to be on sort of an upward trajectory above the norm. So the things that I look at are, YouTube. On every video, YouTube kind of gives me this band, a low and high band of where the average views are over time for my videos. And I look to see, am I at the low end of that, or am I at the high end of that? Is the curve kind of flattening out, but my video is still going up, which is what I saw with the laundry room video. So I do look at that, and I try to keep an eye on sort of where we're at. But it really is what it is, and so I just monetized my photography channel 2 weeks ago. And in the first 2 weeks on this channel, I had made like, I don't know, $700 or $800. The first 2 weeks on my photography channel, I've made $13. That's more like it. That's what I was expecting from this channel. So, anything that happens is a blessing from God, and I truly appreciate it. I'm not going to be arguing about that. I am about to finish getting some of the things I need to go camping, so we'll do some videos from the road when I test out my camping gear for the SUV. I'll probably be going to Florida this summer for a few days, and we'll do some video from there. I've already got this trip booked to Italy, and I don't think that I may have posted this somewhere in a note, but we did the poll getting people to decide for me where I should stay in Florence, and it was overwhelmingly, it was a runaway answer of the Hotel Duomo. So I will be staying. I've already reserved that room to stay at the Hotel Duomo, and I've reserved the room that has the full view of the Duomo from the balcony. And of course, with my Chase points, I got all that for free. So I can't argue with that. This flickering on this account is going to drive me crazy, and I may not stay on here very long because of that. Because it's just going to be awful. People are not going to watch this when they tune back in later. So Sue's asking where in Italy. So I'm going back to Rome. And I'll be in Rome for about 4 days, and then I'm going to Florence for 3 days, and then back to Rome. And so, the credit card game that I'm playing, the points paid for my airline ticket, the points have paid for all of my hotel rooms. And so it's a very cheap, inexpensive trip that I'm going to make expensive. Because I want to take, as I mentioned before, I want to take this Keymaster tour of the Vatican museums, and it starts about 6:30 in the morning, I think. They meet at 6. and you go in with the guys who actually open the windows, unlock the doors, and turn on the lights, there would be no more than 20 people. That tour is a little under $600, but it's a bucket list tour for me. I would love to do that. And then you get to the Sistine Chapel at the very end, just as the museum is starting to open. You're already in the Sistine Chapel turning on all the lights. And I understand that from time to time, they allow people to take pictures in there on this tour. That would just be marvelous, but I'm not holding out hope for that. And so I won't know until May. What dates are available for my trip in November. What I would love to do is go after I get back from Florence, just before I fly home. That's what I would love to do. So anyway, well, yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you're trying your best to ignore the flicker. So anyway, that's kind of where that's going. I did mention that I would talk a little bit before I start answering a lot of questions, but talk a little bit about Scotland. And somebody had brought up in a comment about how did Mint Mobile do overseas. And I have to say, Mint Mobile sucked. I don't know if it was Mint Mobile or if it was me. But I did, after I got there and I was trying to figure out what was going on, I had no connectivity at all on their, what they call a Minternational plan. And then I started reading some reviews that a lot of people had trouble with that. So I got on Wi-Fi and I set up the Airalo, Airalo, I think. It's an eSIM. There are a lot of them out there. This one was just happened to be one I'd already downloaded an app for. I spent $30, I think, for 20 gigabytes to last over 30 days. 20 gigabytes of data. Now I use my phone all over the Isle of Skye without any internet access. In fact, I set up my hotspot. My oldest daughter also has Mint Mobile. She had it long before I did, and she couldn't get any access either. And so rather than her buying another eSIM, she just connected to my hotspot. So I was pulling my data and her data, and over the course of 9 days, now when I got back to Edinburgh, I was back on Wi-Fi a lot, so it was a little different. But over the course of 9 days, we used less than 2 gigabytes of data. So I could have gotten by with a much cheaper plan. And when I go to Italy, I haven't even tried to reach out to Mint Mobile yet to find somebody to talk to. Just hasn't been at the top of my list. I would be willing to try it again as long as they agree to reimburse me if it doesn't work. And we'll see where we go from there. In the United States, I have no problems. I love the plan. I love the pricing. My phone works great, no problem. But it's just a matter of their international eSIM card wasn't working for me. So we'll see. Let's see. Got a lot of new people showing up. Hello to everybody. Glad to have you here. We did take, and if you've been keeping up with my trip at all, you know that our first day of touring in Scotland was totally destroyed. Because our plane, the one that Elise's family and I were on, that plane was 6 hours late. So, but we didn't get to go to Dunoon. That was the one thing I really planned the trip for was to spend some time in Dunoon, and that just didn't happen. So. But the rest of the trip was just phenomenal. I could not have asked for better weather in Skye. We had 0 rain for 4 days. 0. That is unheard of on the Isle of Skye. Now, we had a few sprinkles when we went to the Nest Point Lighthouse, but that's right on the northwest coast. And I don't know if it was rain or just mist coming in off the ocean, but so then when we got to Edinburgh, it rained solid for 2 days. It rained the whole time we were touring the Edinburgh Castle. Everywhere we walked, it was wet. And then we had one day before we left. We had one day of beautiful weather. And as I told my kids and my grandkids, there is no bad weather, as Billy Connolly has always said. There's no bad weather in Scotland. There's just the wrong clothes. So, thankfully, I think most of us had the right clothes. Had a couple of grandkids that maybe didn't pack the way their parents told them to pack. And we tried to help them get through as best we could. Greene County in a tornado watch. Yeah, Hamilton County is in a tornado watch until 2 a.m. as well. And so I'm going to be looking at my weather app, and as soon as we get off of here, I'll go back in and keep monitoring the weather. I live in a basement, so it's pretty easy for me to get into a place. But of course, my mom is upstairs, and I want to make sure that she's safe if there's something coming through. So, I'm normally in bed going to sleep by 9 o'clock, but probably not tonight. Let's see. Newly retired New Jersey teacher. All right. Thank you. Those are very nice words. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Welcome to the community. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the song that my two oldest daughters and I sang together in Scotland. And as I mentioned, it's a copyrighted song. I knew I wasn't going to be able to monetize that video. I'm just thankful that the copyright owners didn't take it down. When I first started my YouTube channel, the very first thing I did, I uploaded a Paul Davis video from American Bandstand and a Paul Davis video from Solid Gold, if you're old enough to remember either of those two shows. And the reason for that was because my brother was playing keyboards for Paul Davis on a tour that year. And I wanted people to see my brother. And my American Bandstand video wasn't up 3 days before the Dick Clark production company demanded that I take it down. Okay. Solid Gold, they didn't care. It's been up 10 years now. Got several 100,000 views. I can't monetize it. I don't care about monetizing it. The only restriction I have, it doesn't count as a strike against me on the channel, but the only restriction is in some countries it's not viewable. And so if you're in one of those countries, I apologize for that. So, it is, there are some bands out there that demand takedowns. And I understand the Eagles are one of those bands. This was an Eagles song. Thankfully, the Eagles don't have the copyright for this song, so somebody else does, and they're going to make money off of all the views. And I'm more than happy to give them the money. That's great. Gretchen, thank you. I appreciate it. Rita as well. Thank you so much. We may do another song at some point, but we'll probably try to pick an old hymn that doesn't have a copyright on it. So that's sort of up to speed on where we're at, where we're going with this channel, and some of the things that are going to be happening soon. Like right now, I'm going to be honest with you. It's Tuesday night. I have no idea what video is going to be uploaded on Thursday. I have several things over here that I'm thinking through and working on, but I haven't decided. I haven't recorded the video yet, so we'll see what Thursday brings. The Life in Motion Diaries channel is going well. It will probably be monetized at some point this year. I'm amazed at that too. I really thought it was going to be one of those things where I had maybe 100 subscribers and my video was getting maybe 30 views. But a lot of you from this channel jumped over there. I really appreciate that. And a lot of comments great critiques on the videos, which is what I'm looking for. And today, interestingly enough, today was the 93rd video I've uploaded on this channel, and it was the 93rd video I've uploaded on that channel. So, posting a video every day, it catches up in a hurry. Thank you, Julie. I'm having a lot of fun. It's like right now, I'm like, what am I going to do tomorrow? And I kind of had a couple of things in mind, but I'm not sure the weather tonight is going to make that possible. So we'll see. And I have some new equipment that I'm going to add in after we hit our 100th episode. Again, I'm trying to find the cheapest. The best working, cheapest I can buy, and which is, I'm using these Comica mics tonight. I have both of them on because it sounds better than one, and it plugs into my laptop just like it plugs into my phone, and these microphones are $109, and they work great. Where I've got I have the DJI mics over here. I paid, I don't know, $300 for, maybe more than $300. So, they do work better, but you don't have to buy expensive equipment to make interesting videos. That I guess that's the key point I'm trying to make. Okay, so, we're about 20 minutes in here, and if you've got questions you want to ask, I'll start looking in the comments to answer those questions. And until I see them, I will just think of other things to talk about that may or may not be of any interest to anybody. I have no preconceived idea about how long we're going to be on here. I try to keep live streams to an hour or less. And I think I have this one. I think I set this one up so that this live chat will replay with the replays, so people will be able to see kind of what's going on here as well. Yeah, the Ruby Falls video was a lot of fun. I learned a lot down there, and taking that, if I were to go back, I would take that tour again, the one for old people, people who need to move slower. It's the very first tour of the day, and we let two other tours pass us by that had come in later because we were just taking our sweet easy time, and we were in no big hurry, and it's great. So if you're ever in town and you want to go there, order your tickets ahead. You can buy them online, but that's when I would definitely go. Ernie, yeah, I'm I do write out some scripts occasionally. Mostly, I'm working off of an outline. I don't know. I guess it's 25 years teaching and, a dozen years pastoring. I have no problem talking off the top of my head for forever. I've mentioned this before. I don't remember if it was in the live stream or not, but I took a class when I was at Lee University. I took a preaching class, and our professor, Dr. Luther Painter, I will never forget this man. He was quite the character. But he made it very clear that no sermon should be longer than 20 minutes. And you need to study 1 hour for every minute you talk. So that's 20 hours for a 20-minute sermon on Sunday morning and a Sunday night sermon and maybe a Wednesday night class. That's a lot of hours of just doing nothing but study. Because otherwise you just chase rabbits all day and you just go off. And this is when I sit down and I do a video, a rough video, I do the first recording of it. Sometimes I record a video 3 times before I finally decide where I'm going. It is not unusual for me to talk for 20 or 25 minutes. and then I got to figure out where to cut that because I'm chasing rabbits and I'm not getting to the point. It's not that people wouldn't watch it, but I'm not saying anything of any importance. And when I get an outline together and I kind of know what points I need to hit, that video starts off a lot shorter and the editing process is a lot easier. So that's kind of where all that comes from. Valerie, you can ask anything you want. That's perfectly fine. If I don't want to answer it, I won't. Let's see. Almost your anniversary. Yes, it is. And we will do at the end of June, at the beginning of July, we will do another What YouTube Paid Me for the First Year. And I'm going to include in that the kinds of things that I'm also mentioning in my videos. So for instance, the Mint Mobile plan, we've had a few people that signed up for that. We've had people donate to my Ko-fi account, which I'm eternally grateful for, extremely grateful for. In fact, I had a cappuccino today while I was making today's Life in Motion video, thanks to somebody that just bought one a couple of days ago. And there's a couple of other things that people have purchased along the way. It's not a lot of money, but it adds up, and I want to acknowledge that. It was enough last year that for the first time in maybe 20 years, I actually owed taxes. I didn't owe any until I added in my YouTube money because they don't hold any taxes there. And so now this year I've got to file quarterly so that I don't get a penalty at the end of the year. It's pluses and minuses all the way around. Bob, I'm having a blast. I really am. I mean, I bit off a lot with this Life in Motion channel, and I knew it was going to be a lot, and it's costing me some time in other areas at the moment. But I mentioned the other day that I'm always scouring YouTube for ways to edit, ways to color grade, ways to shoot other kinds of shots. I'm looking at people who are telling you how to do better B-roll. And I have discovered a way that is maybe cut my editing in half on those videos. So that's going to give me back some time, and that's wonderful. And sometimes it's a 20-minute drive to wherever I'm going to make the video, and then I may spend an hour making a video that's going to be 3 minutes long. But it is a learning process, and I'm just having a blast. I really am just having a blast. Laura, that's a lot of thumbs. What inspires you to do these videos? I guess, Carol, can you be a little more specific for me of like what's inspiring me to do videos in general, or what is inspiring me to do like a particular video on that channel? I want to make sure I'm answering the question you're asking. And I know I've got a lag here, so it's going to be a minute before that comes back up in the chat. But I can tell you that in general, I just love cameras. I just love them. I love taking pictures with them. I love taking video with them. I am not a professional in either one by any means. But going out and having a camera in my hand while I'm walking around downtown Chattanooga, I'm having a blast. I just love it. Let's see. I just got back from camping in the Daniel Boone National Forest. How cool. Okay. Sylvia, when you get that up, I don't know, is Sylvia's Roadside Revelations, is that a YouTube channel I can subscribe to? Um, Carol, I guess in some ways it may be a mission. The Life in Motions channel is in a way, I suppose, because I have a long history of starting things I never finish. And there are two things that I am determined to finish. One is the Life in Motions diaries videos, one every day for a year. That was the goal I set, and come hell or high water, I will hit that goal. If I have to make a video from a hospital bed one day because I'm incapacitated, that's where the video will come from. And the other is the book that I'm writing. It's a long, slow process, and I've hit kind of a spell of not writing much, but I'm not quitting. I will have that book done, and it will be published because it is a promise I made to myself. So in that regard, I suppose they are sort of missions. Ernie, that's pretty cool. Taking photos of rail yards and stuff. I've taken a lot of pictures of places that I've been, but I've never tried to sell them to the places I went. I have offered them and said, here's a picture you could use if you want to. There is a chapel in the middle of London, and that I'll have to look back up again. It's been several years since I've been there. It used to be the chapel in a hospital, and the hospital was torn down and an office building was put in, but the chapel was retained, and it is just absolutely beautiful. People rent it out for weddings and that kind of stuff. And I took some pictures there, and I did send that to them, and they posted them on Instagram. The only thing I've ever asked for is, put my name on it, and I'm not really into photography to make money, which is probably why I'm not really that good at it. Maybe I should try to make money. Let's see. How much time do you spend reading? Well, that sort of comes and goes. I mean, I read the news. I don't watch the news. I don't watch any mainstream media news or other kinds of online social media news. I only read the news, and I read a wide variety of news. But then I do find that there are times, not every day, but there are times when I just want to sit down with a book. And, I might spend an hour reading at that point. Because I grew up loving to read, and back before, I'm 65. So back before computers, back before cell phones, back before social media, when I would go to a restaurant to eat, I would read the backs of sugar packets because I just could not get enough of reading. I cannot emphasize it enough. I love it. Let's see. Rita, thank you. I can't wait for it to actually be out there. Let's see if I can come back up here. I've got a live update notice here, so let's come back up here. Julie wants to know if I would consider a travel video about safety for women traveling solo. Maybe a woman join you who's traveled extensively by herself. I don't know if I would go traveling with one, but I might interview somebody. Over on my photography channel, I did 3 Zoom videos. David Sailors, Phil Thatch, Ron Durant, 3 photographers that I go out with occasionally. And so, yeah, I might find somebody who would be willing to talk to me about safety tips for women. I think that is important. And perhaps, excuse me, perhaps when on my Italy trip in November, maybe I can make a point to do some of that while I am in Italy and Florence, and to make a video specifically about solo travel and women traveling safely solo. There are a lot of great solo travel video channels out there of women who travel by themselves, and you may subscribe to some of them. I don't know, but they do talk about that a lot, about safety. Emily wants to know if I enjoy black and white photography, abstract, or more classic style. I love black and white photography, and I wish that I had both the knowledge and the patience to edit fine art black and white photography. It is not just a matter of doing a few sliders in Lightroom. And that may be a goal I set for myself at some point, because the black and white architectural photography especially, but I also love, I just did a video in last Saturday's video was from South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. It's a little hole in the wall town, and it just lent itself to be black and white pictures. I do love that. But I also like making pictures that are very lush, landscape photography pictures specifically, vibrant, lush, maybe hyper realistic in a way. Because when I edit pictures, I really edit more toward what's in my head than what I actually saw when I was there. And I don't know if that makes me a good editor or a bad editor, but that's kind of where I'm at. Heather, making jewelry sounds like a lot of fun. I hope you have fun with it. Maybe one day you'll be on the Academy Awards for Best Cinematography for a film. Maybe. Maybe. If, what's his name from Barbie, Ryan Gosling, if he can win an Oscar for singing, anything's possible. Sylvia, yes, it's my channel, but I've not posted since Christmas. Okay, well, I'm going to look it up. And so the next time that you post, you will have a new subscriber. Headed to Scotland in September. 7 of us, hoping to visit some of the same places where your family traveled. I hope you enjoy it. September is a beautiful time to go. I've been in March and I've been in October, because those are fall and spring break, around my job. But I think going a little earlier, September would be great, because the weather is still really nice and everything's still going to be pretty green at that point. It's basically always green in Scotland anyway. One place that we did not get to go that you might want to look up, there's some videos about it. You can find a place called the Hermitage. I went there on the Rabbi's Tours tour that I took, and it is this beautiful, beautiful woodland hiking trail with a fantastic waterfall that Queen Victoria used to enjoy walking in. It's called the Hermitage. So look that up. What's a typical day look like for you? Well, yesterday's Life in Motion video, was it yesterday or today? Maybe that was today. Was today where I had both of me on the couch? I lose track of when they go live. Anyway, so I'm typically up between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. At no alarm necessary. I'm just up. Today it was 3. Sometimes that happens. I'll after taking a shower and getting dressed, I'll have a cup of coffee and catch up on the news on my phone, and then I will look on YouTube at what my subscription channels may have posted that I had not seen yet. May watch a few of those. And then Panera opens at 6:30 Monday through Friday, and so I'm there at 6:30. Sometimes I'm there at 6:25. It's always fun to watch the people that just kind of stand outside the door waiting for somebody to just unlock the door. It's the same people every day. So anyway, I'll stay there about 45 minutes or so. Sometimes, not every day, but sometimes I'll make a trip to Walmart to look at their beef selection to see when the next sell by date is, so I know when to go find some cheap cuts of meat. And then when I come home, I have a little time with my mom upstairs while she's having breakfast around 8, and then it is getting ready to make a video, going out to do the Life in Motion video, going grocery shopping, just odds and ends, running some errands, going to the dry cleaners, whatever. But a lot of time right now around trying to schedule, video, edit, upload for 3 YouTube channels. That's a day. And I'm typically done with all of that by about 5. I go up and talk to my mom sometime between 5 and 6. We visit for a while. And then I come downstairs and I'm done. My body is over it. And going to bed at 9 o'clock is not a problem because I'm bored to tears by then. Let's see. Yeah, after I do all this, I'm reading a couple of remarks here about reading. After I get done with this video a day thing, reading is next on my list. In fact, I have this concrete slab in the back. If you saw the Life in Motion video where I was getting rid of the carpet, it's just a slab, and it's underneath my mom's deck. And I finally bought a couple of chairs to put out there, and I'm going to put a grill out there at some point. And I'd like to. We had a bird bath out in the backyard that got destroyed when the house was hit by a tree, and I've never been able to find another one that I like. So I'm hoping to get that back in the backyard. I would love to just go out in the backyard and listen to the birds sing, read, and drink coffee. That would be a marvelous way to start the day. I might stop going to Panera when I have that set up. Let's see. Yeah, Laura, all this stuff. We get all this stuff. And, when we were in Scotland, I was like, should I get a mug? No. This is really cool. Should I buy this? No, you should not buy that. So, I don't. I used to pick up souvenirs and stuff, and I don't do that anymore. I take pictures. That's my souvenirs. I take pictures. For the Scotland trip, I don't think it was last Christmas. I think it was the Christmas before last. Yeah, it was the Christmas before last, because we've been planning this for a while. There is a website that I ordered a necklace from for each of my daughters. And the necklace was a street map around Calton Hill of Edinburgh. So it's etched in gold, and it's like gold lines with empty spaces between it. So when you look at it, it looks like a street map. That's the kind of stuff that I would buy. When I was in Rome, I bought this ring. Some people have mistaken it for a wedding ring. It is not a wedding ring. This is a ring for St. Francis. It has the tau, the letter that he used to sign his name, all the way around it. And I bought some jewelry from that store for my daughters. But I just don't buy that stuff for me anymore. I just don't. What's the point? Okay. Let's see. Rita, thanks for stopping by. I hope you. I hope we don't have any more glitches when you come back online to watch it later. Ron, nobody told you what? That we were live? I'm sorry. Let's see. I have a fountain in my backyard. So peaceful. Yeah, you know, Ron Durant, who posted up here, and Phil Thatch. Ron's up in Crossville, Tennessee. Phil's here in Chattanooga, or he's actually in Ooltewah, I think. And they're both excellent photographers. They're way better photographers than I am. And they both, while they sort of go different directions with their photography, one thing they have in common is they love to do bird photography. And they have set up different perches in their backyard, and they have, sort of I think Phil built a blind to put on his deck, and Ron's got a chair that serves as a blind that he can sit in, and birds don't notice him. And just to watch their videos with their bird photography, Ron has started a new channel. Ron, if you would, put a link in here to your bird channel. Ron started a new channel of bird video, and the videos are just gorgeous. And so if he would consider doing that, that'd be great. Let's see, what else have I got here? Yeah, Ron, I'm really sorry. I mean, I posted it on my subscription page. Do you not subscribe to this channel? I'm sorry. I should have said something. In all honesty, I was almost ready to cancel it because I wasn't sure the weather was going to cooperate. But so far, I think the weather's been okay, and we'll go there. Let's see. See, I really like your new Retired Me clips. I'm impressed. Yeah, so, I watch a lot of videos about people who live in their van or live in their car. I have no desire to do that. But I have this project in mind, and I may have talked about this before. I don't remember. I have lived several places growing up. I was born in Marion, Indiana. We moved to Rochelle, Illinois. We moved to Richmond, Indiana. Then we moved back to Marion, Indiana. Then we moved to Bennettsville, South Carolina, and finally over to Wynne, Arkansas, where my mom and dad were from. So I lived in all those places while I was in school. And I have this goal of going back to those places, finding the houses that we lived in, doing some photography in the area. And along the way, because it's a long drive from some of those places, but along the way, maybe spending the night somewhere to do some landscape photography. And so my idea was to spend a couple of nights in the car and then rent a hotel room, and then a couple of nights in the car and then rent a hotel room. And that would make the trip pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Affordable, pretty affordable. But every third night or so, I'm going to need a shower. So anyway, yeah. So it's April, and I'm going to go out and buy a few last minute things and take the car out for a trial camping night. I'm not sure if that's going to be at Chester Frost State Park or at Chilhowie State Park up near Benton Falls. But someplace where I've got a grill handy. There's a bathroom in the area. At Chester Frost, there's actually showers there, I think. But just to spend one night. So I don't need like a big charger to charge all my devices. I don't need, a lot of stuff. I just need a way to maybe make some food and the stuff I've already got to make coffee. and a way to sleep. And that's really all I need. So that will be a video. Obviously, everything in my life turns into a video at this point. So, um, yeah, Ron, it was bad up near Cincinnati for a while. So far, we don't have anything here, but we're still under a watch. Um, Going Green Mom, are you asking? Are you asking if I have a moderator on this live feed? Because I don't. I don't have one. I need one, but I don't have one. Let's see. Yeah, the Planet Fitness membership. Actually, I can get a free Planet Fitness membership through my Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Part D account. And I have thought about that simply from the standpoint that I could park in their parking lot overnight when I'm out on a trip somewhere, and then use their shower in the morning. So yeah, that's something I'm considering. Um, Yeah, Going Green Mom's talking about buying a car or putting the back seats down. The problem with the Tiguan is that it's not level. So I've had to sort of make a little bit of an adjustment on the plywood that I'm using. The Toyota Land Rover is a great car for this because those seats come down and they're perfectly flat all the way through. But it's out of my price, so I won't be getting one of those. Let's see. Noreen, welcome. We've been talking about the fact that for some reason my video is flickering here. I don't know why. So just overlook it. Ron, that would definitely be a tight fit for me. I think Ron, I think you and I talked about this before. There's a photographer channel. It's just called AOWS. Hang on, I think my camera might have just gone off. Let's make sure that I'm still being seen somewhere. The channel is called AOWS, and he is an excellent photographer. Does almost entirely black and white photography, and he spent a couple of months in England and Scotland, and I think he spent 58 days sleeping in a car before he got an Airbnb to finally get a bed and Wi-Fi and a shower. That's a lot of days. I'm just going to tell you, that's a lot of days. I don't have any intention of doing that ever. Let's see. How's your mother? Charlotte, she's doing remarkably well. She had a little fall a few weeks ago, and she's recovering from that pretty well. She just gets around really well, and still tries to cook me food. And she does a great job when she does it. So, did it take a lot of convincing? We talked about it at one point, and she wasn't really that interested. But then I think after I'd posted a couple of videos of decluttering some of the closets down here, I think she kind of then realized what we were talking about. And so by the time we got around to decluttering the kitchen, I told her that I would like to do that. And I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And then she was finally like, when are you going to do this? You said you were going to do it. I'm ready. And so, yeah, that's when we did that. I've got some other areas. She has an upstairs with a couple of bedrooms up there. And there's some stuff in those closets that need to go. And, we may make a video about getting rid of some of that stuff too. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Thanks for asking about her. She's probably on here, but she hasn't posted a comment yet. Let's see. Rosetta, I appreciate that. I don't know if I want another YouTube channel. One of the things that which brings me back to something else that kind of took a back seat, I suppose, because I had really intended in January to put together a series of videos on how to take pictures with your phone, and in conjunction with that, another series on how to make videos with your phone, which the Life in Motion channel is kind of that. And so we may incorporate the YouTube channel, getting into YouTube and how to do that on that channel at some point. So if you're subscribed there, you'll see that. The photography stuff, I still want to do. I just have to figure out how to work it into what I'm doing. Because I really kind of see that as being about 10 to 12 videos at 10 minutes or so each. And I don't think it'll take a long time once I sit down to do it. It's just a matter of actually getting there and getting it done. Let's see. What's your outlook on living life as we get older? I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. If I had planned from an early age on retirement and been better prepared financially, I would have retired years ago. I look at somebody like Gabe Bolt. Some of you subscribe to his YouTube channel. He retired before he was 30, I think. He had a plan. He worked the plan, and he's living his best life. That would have been awesome. Me, in my younger years, I squandered every penny I ever made. I just spent it with no rhyme or reason. I was making a good living for a while back in my very early days. Probably, if we were doing like comparing 1970s, 1980s dollars to today, I was probably making more money in the 80s than I've ever made in my life. And I traded cars every 6 months. And we're not talking about used cars, we're talking about new cars. At one point, I had 3 cars. And who needs 3 cars? I don't need 3 cars. Only 2 of us were driving. So, I had it, I spent it. And it was a total waste of my youth. It really was. So I wish I could have done this a long time ago. Let's see. Where are we at here? Ron, I haven't thought about hospital parking lots either. That's a possibility. I see some people who are parking at airport parking lots because it's what, $10 a night, and nobody's going to bother you. And in fact, I just saw a video today where a guy was talking about, in his video before this, he spent the night at Buc-ee's. We all love Buc-ee's. Let's see, where are we at here? Yes, there are a number of apps for boondocking and stealth camping. I've downloaded one for myself, and I may try that out. Walmart is a great place. Almost every Walmart will let you stay there, and Cracker Barrel. Almost every Cracker Barrel will let you stay as well. Let's see, where are we at here? Let me catch up. Yeah, Lisa, that Planet Fitness thing, I'm not a fan. I'm just not. And I don't know that I will ever get the membership. It's out there. It's free if I want it. And if I got it, it would be to park in the parking lot probably. But I have no intention of going into the girls' bathroom to take a shower. Let's see. We're talking a lot about camping. Y'all are getting way ahead of me because I haven't actually been yet. Yeah, I see a comment here about states having time limits. In Tennessee, it's 2 hours. Doesn't matter what rest stop you're at, it's 2 hours. I want to say North Carolina and South Carolina may be the same because I was checking on that for this trip I was talking about, and that wouldn't work for me. Um, yes, you always need to ask first before you park in somebody's parking lot. Let's see. So, one of the things that kind of got me started thinking about camping in my car was actually, and I've talked about this before, there is a channel called Mari Life, Mari Life. And it's one of those ASMR channels. She never speaks. She's Korean, I think. For the longest time, you never saw her face. She's kind of changed that up a bit. When she has her kids camping with her, she still doesn't show their faces. Um, but it's all about taking her Toyota Land Rover. At one point, she's got a new car now, and sleeping in the back or putting a tent on top or putting a tent off the back of it, how she cooks. She drinks more liquor than I would ever even think about being able to drink. And it doesn't seem to faze her. But that she posted one video a week, and that sort of hit me as being, that kind of looks fun. Um, I don't want to, I also watch people who live in their van, that kind of stuff, and they're out boondocking somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Um, and I'm like, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for going out into the middle of the woods somewhere by myself. But sleeping in my car, I could do that. I can listen. I can go to sleep just about anywhere. um, Noreen, I think Pilot and Loves will let you stay overnight in a lot of their areas. So, but again, you need to ask first. Um, Besides Italy and Scotland, have you been to other countries? So I lived in England. That's not technically Scotland, but I lived in England for 4.5 years. I've been to Germany a couple of times during that time. And I've been to a couple of places in Canada. I don't know if that's considered another country or not. um, and other than that, no. I'm trying to think other places. Ireland's on my list. I'd love to go to Ireland. I watched a video not too long ago of somebody who flew into, excuse me, they flew into Venice in Italy and then rented a car and drove about 3 hours up into what I think is Slovenia, maybe. Beautiful country. So I've thought about doing something like that. I would love to go to Warsaw, Poland. There are places I would like to go, and then there are a lot of places I have no desire to go. Um, I'm still kind of iffy on whether I ever want to take a cruise or not. But if I did, it would probably be an Alaskan cruise. And I've thought about taking a flight to the western side of Canada and then taking their train all across Canada back over to the eastern side. I want to say that's 4 or 5 days. Um, and I just think that would be a fun trip. I'm kind of weird that way. Let's see, where else are we at here? I just got on and I've had 3 ads. Yeah, this is the problem. Um, it used to be I could do a live stream and tell it I don't want any ads. The ads would come up in the recording. YouTube has changed their ad policies a lot, and I don't have that choice anymore. I can choose whether I want to be minimal or moderate or heavy on ads, and I always choose minimal. So hopefully you're seeing the least number of ads you could see during this live stream. And the ads come up at different times for different people. It doesn't just cut to an ad for everybody. So I do apologize for that. And that would be the case whether the channel was monetized or not. Let's see. Boondock sites just outside of national parks. Very true. Yes, I've seen some videos on that. I would like to go back to Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. I had a blast out there. There's some great landscape opportunities in the western part of the United States, obviously. But if I'm going to go all the way to the western side of the United States, I might as well just go to Italy. Let's see. Let's see. Where are we at? Yeah, I don't know about cruises. I mean, I'm not a big beach person. I'm not a big, I mean, what would I do? I don't dance. I don't gamble. And then, I don't know. I don't have a going to the pool body. So, I don't know. Cruises are still kind of a thing out there. I'm still sort of working my way through. And plus it's more expensive for a single than it is for a double. That's always they always get you that way. Let's see, where are we at? Oh gosh, we've already passed an hour. I guess I should probably draw this thing to a close, but y'all are having such a good time having a conversation here without me that I hate to cut it off. Let's see. Yeah, somebody's talking about YouTube Premium. I finally broke down and got YouTube Premium myself under my photography channel. That's been what I've considered to be my main channel for years. And I love not having to watch ads. I just love it. And it is well worth the money for me not to have to watch ads. And then when I go over to my New Retired Me channel to kind of catch up on the subscriptions there, and suddenly I've got ads showing up again, I'm like, why don't I just subscribe to these people over on the photography channel? And if you have premium, all the videos that you watch get a small portion of your subscription doled out to them for the watch. So it's not like you're costing anybody any money. I can tell you a brief difference about monetization. So I have a video in the last couple of weeks that has about 3,000 views or so. That video has brought in $38. Okay. And then I have the video for decluttering the laundry room, which has about 39,000 views. That video is just shy of $400. So, my videos typically are between 1,500 and 4,000 views. That's sort of average. So, those videos are making about $40 or $50, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's well worth my time to make them. But if you have premium, a part of your subscription comes to me because you've watched my video. Let's see. Wealthy enough to go on a yacht. Yeah, I had a lady that I worked with in Knoxville when I was at the STEM Academy. She and her fiance went on a yacht cruise around the Greek islands. And they found a place where they could work as sort of semi-crew members while it was sailing. and it was really, really inexpensive, and they had a blast. So there are those kinds of things out there as well. Deborah, are you still happy with Mint Mobile? I don't know if you were here earlier in the video or not. Mint Mobile did not work for me overseas. I had to go with something else. But here in the United States, yes, I am loving it. I was on the fence for about 2 years trying to decide what if this kills my phone. And finally, I just bit the bullet because I thought, you know what, I can switch to Mint Mobile, and then if it doesn't work, Verizon will willingly take me back. And I really haven't looked back. I mean, I'm paying, I think $30 a month or less, where I was paying $100 and some odd dollars a month for Verizon, and it's exactly the same service, exactly the same plan. So yeah, I'm liking Mint Mobile. I just got to figure out about the international thing. I just haven't called them about that yet. Let's see. Ron, I was planning on doing about 4 this year, and this one's late. I actually made the thumbnail for this one about 3 weeks ago and just kept forgetting to schedule it. And so, yeah, I would love to do more of these because I'm just here talking off the top of my head, but seeing what's going on here in this live chat just makes me so happy. You just don't know how happy it makes me. And so, yeah, we need to do more of this for sure. How much is premium? What is it? $14.99, $12.99, something, I think. It's really not bad. Let's see. Yeah, I signed up after my 3-month trial period on Mint Mobile was over. I just went in and paid for 12 months, and I'm on the unlimited plan. But with the app, I can see exactly what I'm using every month, and so at the end of that year, if I don't need unlimited data, I'm probably going to downgrade my plan. I have unlimited data because I just do a lot of video work and uploading pictures and stuff, and I don't want to run out. But right now, I'm not even coming close. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I think we're going to try to draw this to a close. I've not even checked the weather once. The house could have blown away by now for all I know. Hopefully not. This has been great. And yes, I promise we will do more of these because you all are just wonderful. And it's wonderful to see you chatting with one another, even more than you're asking questions of me. That is the community aspect of what we've got going here. And I absolutely love that. Let's see. It's just sprinkling. Good to know, Phil. Welcome. I don't know how long you've been lurking in the background there. All right, I'm gonna shut this thing down. And again, I do apologize for all this glitching that's going on with the video. I'll get this fixed before we do this again. I really think it is the contraptions I have to have connected to my laptop, and so I will put it back on my desktop, and it will. I think it will work better. Anyway, thank you all for showing up. Thank you very much, and for participating in the chat. This has been great. And we will see you again really soon. In fact, you'll see me on Thursday. I just won't see you. Thanks for watching.